After standing on the edge of a cliff for the last 2 years, Luke Skywalker is back in Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Here's my review. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in, and here's my review of Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Yes, it seemed like an eternity, but it's finally here. Star Wars: The Last Jedi is now out in theatres, and oh my god, it is awesome. Now don't worry, don't click away, there is going to be no spoilers in this review whatsoever. Maybe minor ones, but I'll try and keep them to an absolute minimum. Star Wars: The Last Jedi is written and directed by Rian Johnson, and he has taken some risks with this movie. If The Force Awakens was the original Star Wars, this certainly is the Empire Strikes Back of this series, and possibly for the whole series in general. They've taken some risk. Now the film does feel completely Star Warsy. This is through and through a Star Wars movie. But Rian Johnson hasn't been afraid to go in new directions, to push the envelope, and to take the characters further than we've seen them before. I'm not going to get into any specifics, so please don't worry. But suffice to say, I love this movie. It is absolutely everything you could have wanted from a Star Wars movie. It is faithful to the universe, and it also pushes it out into new directions. So, big thumbs up there. This is absolutely awesome. Now, I make no secret of the fact that I absolutely love Star Wars. I have loved it since I was a kid. And every single time I get the chance to watch one of the movies, I will jump in and watch that movie. It is absolutely fantastic. Growing up, yeah, I had the toys, I had all of the VHS, the DVDs, the downloads, signed photos from conventions, absolutely everything. I absolutely love Star Wars, and this movie didn't knock anything away from that. In fact, if anything, it's made me love the franchise even more because I can see the potential of where it could potentially go now. Rian Johnson has obviously signed on to do a new trilogy, which will be coming out at some point after episode 9. But back to this movie, awesome. I'm using that word a little bit too much, and some of you might not enjoy the movie. I can't imagine why you wouldn't, but my opinion is this movie is brilliant. Performances, absolutely faultless. Daisy Ridley as Rey, brilliant. John Boyega as Finn, absolutely fantastic. Adam Driver, Kylo Ren, is absolutely awesome. We get more from Poe in this movie. And on to the legacy characters, Princess Leia, or should I say General Leia, it's bittersweet watching her, knowing what happened to her last year. Her performance is powerful, her performance is fantastic. And watching Carrie Fisher on screen, knowing that this was her last performance, she gets the screen time she deserves. She gives a really good performance and I find quite an emotional performance as well. So, big ups to Carrie Fisher. She will be missed. She really will be missed. The film looks as good as you would expect. The visuals here are fantastic. And one thing I will say, the Porgs, don't worry about the Porgs. They look cute as hell, but they're not in any way annoying. They don't take too much of the focus away from anything. They kind of work. There's certainly not any Jar Jar of this movie. They kind of work. The movie looks absolutely flawless. It sounds brilliant. The sound work in this movie is amazing. The score by John Williams is, and I'm getting tired of saying this, but the score by John Williams is so atmospheric, it is so Star Wars that I'm probably going to end up, and I don't really buy many soundtracks, but I probably will buy the soundtrack to this movie because it is, well, yeah, it is really a good score. It's difficult to go into this and not give anything away. I'm not going to touch on the plot for you because I really want you to find out what happens and how the movie plays out for yourself, because it doesn't play out in the way that you expect it to, and that kind of echoes something Luke Skywalker says in the movie, because it doesn't always go the way you're expecting, but it always takes you where it needs to take you, and it does it in a really clever way. And I can't wait, and this sounds terrible, I can't wait for episode 9 now. This movie has literally just hit. I'm probably going to see it a couple more times. Certainly at least once more in theatres, and then I cannot wait to get it when it's available on download or certainly on Blu-ray as well. But this movie is truly an epic Star Wars movie. This movie is a long movie. It comes in at about 2.5 hours, which is, for a Star Wars movie, I think it's the longest Star Wars movie to date, but it doesn't feel that long whatsoever. You really get drawn into this universe, and you feel like you're pretty much living this thing. It goes so quickly, and so the time just passes like that. The movie is absolutely awesome. Difficult to give you a full breakdown when I don't really want to spoil the plot and I don't want to go into any spoilers. Suffice to say, go and see the movie, experience it for yourself, go and see this movie. It is very, very good. The time just passes so quickly, it doesn't feel like you're watching a 2.5 hour movie. It is awesome. Go and see it. That's my recommendation. Just go and see this movie. It is one that you're not going to be able to escape. It's going to play out for quite a long time, and it is a movie that a lot of people are going to be talking about because it is that good. Not just because it's a Star Wars movie, this is a good movie. It's got a long run time, it is certainly an event movie, it is one that you will want to see in theatres. It looks truly magnificent, it sounds great as I've mentioned, and the score by John Williams is just absolutely brilliant. And Mark Hamill is absolutely amazing. Luke Skywalker is, of course, one of my favourite characters in the movie. And the Luke Skywalker we get in this movie isn't the Luke Skywalker that we knew from that original trilogy. Time has gone by, and we do see a slightly different side of Luke Skywalker in this movie. However, Mark Hamill gives the performance of his life. He is truly on the money with this performance. It is a brilliant portrayal of Luke Skywalker, and it is a very memorable one. My hat goes off to Mark Hamill on this one because this is probably, in my opinion, his best performance of Luke Skywalker to date. Star Wars Last Jedi is a movie that didn't really surprise me at all, and I don't like to say that. I was expecting big things from this movie. I was expecting an absolutely amazing movie, and I got exactly what I expected. I'm going to give Star Wars The Last Jedi 5 out of 5. That's my score. I love this movie. I can't really drag it down for any negatives. I loved it. And thanks very much for watching. If you haven't done so already, check out my series of Star Wars reviews. I'll put a link up top here. Hit that subscribe button and subscribe now. I appreciate every one of you subscribers. I appreciate every one of your views. And I will see you really soon for another review. Thanks very much for watching. Bye. It's out. Episode 9 next. Oh my god, I cannot wait. See you later. Bye.